It's pre-testing week in Formula One in Bahrain after the Barcelona showdown from 2 weeks ago, where teams had to test their machines for proper runouts, test their hardwares and softwares, learn about new concepts, and also understand the new tools like the overtake, the boost, and the recharge from the showdown that happened. But things get a little bit serious in Bahrain. So this time they get to push their cars to the hardest to test reliability and get to run the cars across a race weekend, and also get to look at the performance to see if it's fit to go ahead of the race weekend in Australia much later in March. But today I want to talk about something. So we finally have all our teams who have already announced and revealed, or more like unveiled, their liveries for the new season. I want to take a look at each and every one of them. So this time around we have 11 teams, and each of these 11 teams have their own cars, the names, the designs, the colors for each of them. That's what we want to take a look at right now. First off, we'll start with Red Bull. They were the first team to announce their liveries for this season, and like they say, Red Bull gives you wings. The RB22, which is up here, is what they call the name of the car this season. And with the new power units which would be supplied by Ford, can Red Bull power themselves to much more victories this time around? And then we'll get to see if that would do for them. So the sister team of Red Bull, which is our number 2 team, is the Racing Bulls. The V-Cab is what this car is always called, and they tried to also replicate the look from last year in their all-white style with blue accents this time around. That's number 2 team, Racing Bulls. Team number 3 is Haas, which is the VF26, which has a red and white livery, and also branded from Toyota. That's the TGR, that's the Toyota Gazoo Racing. Team number 4 features one of the new teams this season who changed from Kicksober, now named Audi, and it's the R26. That's what they call the name of this car, and it has features of a striking titanium to the lava red livery and also carbon fiber. Team number 4, Audi. Next up is Mercedes. The W17 is the name of the car this time around. They're often called the Silver Arrows, and they have iconic livery of the silver and black colors. Do you love this? Let's see how they perform this season. SF26 is next, which is Ferrari, and they'll be looking to end the drought of 2 decades since the last time they won the championship as a team. That dates back to 2008, and let's see if 2026 is the turnaround season for them. The A526 is next, which is the Alpine team. They will be looking to do something good for themselves, and remember, last season was really woeful for them. They finished bottom of the standings for their team, finishing with just 22 points, and the team ahead of them had 48 points gap between them, and you could say that they'll be looking forward to have a decent season for themselves this time around. They'll always pop up with the distinctive pink and blue color. So Alpine, would it be a much more rejuvenating season for them? Only time will tell. Also remember that Alpine also switched their engine from Renault to Mercedes this time. Probably that could be a very decent turnaround for them. The FW48 is our 8th team to talk about, which is the Williams, and it's a Williams car that has a distinctive blue color with sections of black and an array of white colors from the side to the front and rear wings. Now, they didn't take part in the Barcelona showdown due to production delays, but their team principal, talking about James Vowles, came out and said that they are ready for the Bahrain testing from this week. So fingers crossed for Williams. Now to the debutant of the season, and I'm talking about Cadillac. Cadillac unveiled their liveries at the Super Bowl in one of the TV ads. Can somebody say their money is very long? They have a very rich background. That is it's a team based in the US, but they'll be looking to do well in Formula One this time around, and they're pretty much gearing to go for this season with 2 interesting drivers, which we'll talk about on this channel or on this page, and it's going to be an interesting one to see. Cadillac is our 9th team in Formula One. So the 2 last teams unveiled theirs last night, and we'll be talking about it. First off is the current champions of the Formula One, and it's talking about McLaren. The MCL40 is what they call the car this season, and they portray the same color, which is the striking papaya look with muted black colors around the cars, and they'll be looking to solidify that championship win, which one of their drivers also took home the title for a very first time, talking about Lando Norris. So will McLaren, with their new design, will continue to be champions this time around? Remember, they also have Mercedes as their power unit supplier. Fingers crossed for McLaren. Now to the team, and the very last one that kept us waiting for us to see the car that they've designed for this season. I'm speaking about this team right here, Aston Martin. The AMR 26 is what they call theirs this year, and it was designed by one of the new team members or staff, talking about Adrian Newey, who is their team principal. He designed that car, and remember, for those who have followed Formula One for a while, he left Red Bull to join Aston Martin, and yeah, let's see how his expertise is going to be utilized, and we'll get to see the effects right there for Aston Martin. Remember, they moved from a Mercedes to Honda as power unit suppliers for this season. So let's see how the Aston Martin is going to improve from last season. So fingers crossed for Aston Martin, with two interesting drivers, one a veteran and also another who has been in the sport for a while, talking about Alonso and Lance Stroll. So there you have it for all of the teams who have unveiled the liveries for 2026. Red Bull, Racing Bulls, Haas, Audi, Mercedes, Ferrari, Alpine, Williams, Cadillac, McLaren, and Aston Martin. That's 11 teams. Which of these teams did you like their cars or like the design that they've brought forward for this season? Let me know in the comments. And which team do you think is going to do well off of what you've had so far? So let me know about your thoughts.